What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jamie and this is Jamieology. So let's get right into it. So today we're going to be going through how I set up my bullet journal for February of this year. And I've been bullet journaling since about 2018, so it's been a few years. And I've kind of refined some things. I've learned how to simplify my bullet journal, and I'd love to bring you guys along on that journey. So without further ado, here we go. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start off by just lighting some candles. I think bullet journaling should be a relaxing practice, and I think lighting candles just makes that space more relaxing. I also think being so cold, February is such a great time to be lighting candles. Just makes the room and the space feel a lot warmer. I also think it's important to be comfortable when bullet journaling, so I have on my nice comfy sweater. The first page, of course, is our cover page, and my goal for this year's bullet journal is to keep things simple. I used to do more detailed designs, but I found that they took a really long time to make and were honestly less functional as I lose motivation for actually doing the bullet journal. So as soon as I started simplifying my designs, I really fell in love with bullet journaling again and felt that it was actually serving its purpose better. And guys, I absolutely love the theme that I picked for this month's bullet journal. The balloon hearts kind of make it whimsical and bubbly, but it's still super easy to draw. For the cover page, I mapped out a square, leaving a little bit of space at the bottom right corner for FEB, which is obviously short for February. Then I added the balloons inside of the square. The balloon hearts are simply a heart outline with an open triangle shape at the bottom to kind of represent where you'd blow into a balloon. And then I attached them all together with lines coming together into a bow. I also added the quote on the bottom, "Love is in the air," as a kind of play on words for the floating hearts on the page. And here's the finished product. Now onto our monthly spread. So guys, you'll notice that I always draw things out in pencil first. That's because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and drawing it immediately with pen, I tend to make a lot of mistakes, and that bothers me a lot. So you don't have to start with pencil, I just choose to because that's what I'm most comfortable with. For my monthly spreads, I have found that I like this format the best just because I think it looks a lot better than just doing a grid form. So basically I'm drawing out 5 by 5, so 5 squares by 5 square boxes in the shape of the month. So there's a box for each day of the month. You'll notice in this video I don't do a weekly spread, and that's just because I've found that I don't particularly like doing weekly spreads. They're just not the way that I like to organize my weeks. And I know some of you probably do like using weekly spreads, and that's great. I just know that for me, with going this more minimalistic route, I don't want to put anything in my bullet journal that I'm not actually going to use to the fullest. This month I continued with the heart balloons, placing them at various points on the page around the calendar itself. I also added a note section at the bottom and a goals section on the side. This is something new I'm trying out to set monthly goals for myself, and so far it has been really helpful. Now I'm going in and adding the days of the week. I decided to put them inside of the top boxes of the month. You could put them up top if you wanted to. I just liked the way that this looked. I also added a quote, "Do all things with love," just because I love that and it sounds a lot like February. Onto the coloring stage, I like to use Papermate Inkjoy pens for my bullet journals. They are by far my favorite pens just because they don't smudge or anything, and that's important to me with my bullet journal because I want to make sure nothing gets messed up after I draw it. So I love these pens. I have them in every color. Highly recommend them for starting bullet journaling. And I think there's a lot of pressure when you start bullet journaling to have these super or high quality, expensive pens. And this just goes to show you that you really don't need those. As you can see, these boxes can get a little bit tedious. If you're trying to keep it super minimalistic, you can use a grid format, and I do have an example of that on my blog, jamie-ology.com. So feel free to check that out if you're looking for something like that. Alright, so right here, my line got a little bit wavy just because the candles were in the way and I was trying to draw that. And I'm trying to be better about not being too picky about things that get a little bit not straight or not perfect, because, you know, nothing has to be perfect. We're all human. And it's just fun, so why fuss about something not being perfect? The next page is a habit tracker. So I absolutely love habit trackers. I think they help keep me on track with everything that I want to accomplish in the day, the week, month, whatever. So I've kind of refined my favorite template over the years, and I really like this format just because it's simple, but it also lets me see exactly what day of the week I am checking off, because it's in exactly the same shape as the month. Basically, I look at the calendar that I just drew and put a square for each day of the month. So I do that for each habit that I'm trying to track. I keep way too many habits on my bullet journal, but I enjoy keeping track of them, and I enjoy being able to check them off at the end of the day and see what I accomplished. So these are just a few of the habits that I'm tracking. I didn't fill out all of them because I want you guys to come up with some of your own, but you can use these ones that I wrote here for reference. If you're just starting out, I highly recommend only doing like 10 to 15 habits. That's usually a good range to shoot for. Unlike the, what do I have here, 24 habits? If you are going with fewer habits and you only need one page, you could definitely move the balloon hearts design over to that first page instead of having the line going across after the word February habits. So we're going in with color again. I just like to keep it simple and outline the boxes in black, and then I make all of the titles one color. So for this month it's going to be pink for Valentine's Day, and then I'll use the same color, so that same pink, to check the boxes when I am going through the month. Now we are moving on to our mood tracker for the month. Mood trackers are another one of my favorites. I'm gonna be honest, they're all my favorites. I love bullet journal pages and I have so much fun doing it, but mood trackers are amazing and I love to see how they look at the end of the month. For this month's bullet journal, we are taking that same heart balloon and just draping it across the page. There's a balloon for each day of the month, and I didn't put any strings in there just because I liked the way that it looked without any balloon strings to clutter the page. And then at the bottom, I put my different moods that I would be tracking. I like to go a little bit more specific than a lot of people do, just because I think it's fun to be more specific about how you're feeling that day. And it makes it a little more in-depth. And then I just put moods of February at the top. So for each of the moods, I'm going to pick a color that I feel fits with that mood. I don't like to make it fit the theme, I just like to make the colors match how I feel. So that's what I'm doing here. We are now moving on to the other side of the page for our very, very final page of our February bullet journal spread, and that is going to be our gratitude page. So I switched it up this month. Usually I do a line a day page, which is kind of similar, but this one focuses more on what you are grateful for that day. And I think February is a great month to do that. You know, it's all focused on love and loving yourself and loving others and loving your life. So I think it's important to just be thankful for things throughout the day. And this one is super simple. You just line down the side 1 through 28 for this month, and then I put little balloons in the corner and gratitude log up top. And I'll do one final flip through of the pages for you guys. And that's a wrap on my February bullet journal. I hope you guys found something that you could use in your own journal or inspired you to start your own journal if you haven't done that before. And if you want some more ideas or inspiration for designs, definitely check out my website, jamie-ology.com. I just have a recent blog post going over a few different designs for February, so make sure you check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button to get updates on all things Jamieology whenever I post a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.